Hey everybody, so today we are going to be doing a tattoo tour. I'm going to be showing you all of my tattoos and talking about them, telling you what they are, when I got them, why I got them, do I regret getting them, my most painful ones, just everything about my tattoos. I've been putting this off for a long time because obviously I am not the most tattooed person in the world, and I plan on getting so many more, so it's just like, okay, well, I'm gonna film this and then by next year I'm gonna have more tattoos, but like I just might as well because I can just film another one in 2 years when I'm hopefully way more covered. And just so you know, there is a tutorial for this look. I will link it somewhere around the video. It is using the Naked Wild West palette, so if you're curious, there is a tutorial for this. But without further ado, let's get into talking about all of my tattoos. So I think we're gonna start in chronological we're gonna start in chronological order with my first tattoo. My first tattoo is this one on my left thigh, and this one is definitely my worst tattoo. It is obviously my first one. I got it done by a friend who was a legit tattoo artist, but was a tattoo artist that was legitimately just starting out. So there's a few errors in it. You can't really tell what it says, and also the clock reads backwards. So there's some errors with it, but it is my first tattoo, so it will always have sentimental value to me. It is a My Chemical Romance tattoo. It is a Black Parade tattoo. It says "Go and try, you'll never break me," and it has the bass drum from the Black Parade that is also a clock, that is also a compass. So and then it just has some of these little flower situations around it. Again, not the best tattoo in the world, and with time it has honestly gotten worse. It was also one of my most painful tattoos. Looking back now that I've had a couple more tattoos, I feel like he had a very, very heavy hand, but it was also my first tattoo, so it's hard to gauge, but the thighs definitely suck. I think this one was my next tattoo, which is just right here, and it says "I am no man," and it is from the Lord of the Rings, and it was a completely impulsive tattoo. I just had an extra $100 and was just like, I worked in a mall at the time, and a couple tattoo artists who, one of them I still go get tattooed by, a couple tattoo artists would come in and shop with me all the time, and so I hit them up and was like, hey, are you free? And just went and got it. This one, if I were to regret a tattoo, it would be this one, only because I want something more substantial from the Lord of the Rings for this. It's an iconic scene. It's just a girl power scene, but I don't necessarily regret it because I can always just add on to the rest of my arm and make it more of a substantial piece. And then I dove right in and I started my sleeve. So this was my next tattoo, which was the start of my sleeve that I'm obviously still working on. So this sleeve is the most sentimental tattoo for me, and my whole sleeve is themed like my parents' backyard. So on the bottom half of my sleeve, we have all the flowers that we always planted in my mom's backyard, as well as robins. Robins were always the bird that like woke me up every single day with their like little songs. We have marigolds, we have bleeding hearts, which as a kid I pulled apart because how can you not? And then there is a bathtub and a toilet. I feel like bathtubs are a pretty common, like, quirky thing for people to have in gardens, which my mom had probably like 3 bathtubs, but the iconic piece is the toilet. We had a red toilet in our backyard all growing up. We called it Santa's toilet, and it was just such an iconic piece in our backyard that I had to get it tattooed on me. This sleeve is still a work in progress, obviously, and we'll get to the upper half a little bit later because that's my newest tattoo. So then when I had the bottom half of my sleeve done, which this was done in 2 sessions. He did this first session here, and then we did, or actually no, 3 sessions. And then we did this back side, and then the last session was just the toilet, and he went up and touched up everything. The arm does suck in spots, and these little tendons sucked pretty hard, but it's more of like an uncomfortable feeling. And then again, like this shading all along the top tendons and that little bone right there sucked. The elbow sucks, and it's not even like on my actual elbow. It is, but it's pretty close. Elbow sucks, and then up here, you would think sucks, and it does, but it's in a different sort of way. And when you get tattooed, you'll understand what I mean when like this is almost just like an uncomfortable, but it doesn't hurt as bad as like this hurts, if that makes sense. And then the next tattoo was this one, this girl on my arm, one of my favorites. It's just a kind of neo-traditional black and gray pinup sort of situation. I just wanted a strong woman on my arm. I was inspired by a situation that happened when it was either my 22nd or my 23rd birthday, and a guy slapped me because I wouldn't dance with him, and I slapped him back, and it was just this huge situation. Everybody was fine, but there were no bouncers at the bar that we were at, and the whole bar just like banded together to get these assholes out, and it was a scary moment, but also an empowering moment. And it's what inspired me to get this. But more so, that's just kind of my saying that I say whenever anybody asks me about this, is just like, I just want a strong woman on my side, always. And then the next one that I got is another My Chemical Romance one, and it is on my back. This is the Shards of Narsil, or the Broken Sword, the Broken Blade. A big old nerdy tattoo. It is basically a sword from Lord of the Rings that has a lot of plot points in it. The back surprisingly was not as painful as I was expecting it, and I would get tattooed on my back again, even this down my spine. I would get it again compared to a lot of the other tattoos that I have now. The thing that sucked the most was like right in the muscles of the shoulder blades. That was really painful, but actually on my spine it wasn't that bad. It was really just like the muscles in my shoulder blades that sucked. But I love this tattoo. The only thing I hate about it is that I can't see it more often. Every once in a while I'll just like forget that it's there and remember it, and I love it so much. I'm not a nerd about a lot of things, but I am a nerd about Lord of the Rings, so I also want to leave a Lorien tattoo, so. And then somewhere in the shuffle, Amanda and I got these tattoos together. So she has a K in my handwriting and I have an A in her handwriting. A lot of y'all may remember Amanda. I will link a video with Amanda somewhere around the video because everybody needs to be exposed to Amanda. When I moved away from home, Amanda was the first like best friend that I made. Her and I are still best friends. I love her to death, and I have her little initial forever tattooed on me. Then my next one, I can't remember exactly what order, but it doesn't really matter. My next one that I got is another My Chemical Romance one. So this one, the design is actually Gemma Hawkins' tattoo. We tweaked it a little bit, but Gemma Hawkins' tattoo came out with this beautiful, I have it. She came out with this beautiful My Chemical Romance flash sheet. I don't know if it's available anymore because Warner Brothers made her take it down because of copyright, which sucks. But this drawing of Gerard, I just completely fell in love with. I will link every aspect of her social media down below, but she is a tattoo artist in the UK and an artist in the UK, and so I actually DM'd her and I was just like, hey, I'm in love with this drawing, would you mind if I got it tattooed from my local artist, because obviously I can't go visit her in the UK for her to tattoo this on me. She gave me permission, and so I went to my tattoo artist and we just tweaked it a little bit and added So Long and Good Night and added the umbrella, and I love it so much. Again, it's kind of a traditional style of tattoo, and Gerard is my ultimate king. You guys know how much I love My Chemical Romance so much. They're my top favorite band. He's one of my heroes. I love him so much, and now I have him forever on me, and there will be many more Lord of the Rings tattoos. Many more My Chemical Romance tattoos to come. I will say though, thigh is probably, besides ribs, thigh is the worst place that I have gotten tattooed. It hurts so bad. It sucks. And I've heard in mixed reviews, I've heard people say that thigh is the easiest. It is easiest or it is the worst. And me and my roommate are both in the camp that the thigh sucks. So, but I will say all tattoos suck, but it's worth it. It's 100% worth it. So then after I got my Chemical Romance one, which I got actually last summer, I got my Chemical Romance one, and then I got this one on my lower leg. And this one is a My Favorite Murder tattoo. It says SSDGM on it, which stands for stay sexy and don't get murdered. If you listen to My Favorite Murder, you know exactly what that means and exactly what what that really means. It's an empowering podcast. I've learned so much through My Favorite Murder, and it's just a reminder to just fuck politeness, to stand up for yourself, and to stay safe and keep yourself safe. And, don't let any societal standards tell you that you need to be polite, because at the end of the day, you need to protect yourself. This one, just a little traditional hand holding a dagger. It's only like this big. It's just cute little, I like it. It looks tough. And then I got this one this last fall, and this one was like my first one where I was just like, fuck it, let's just do it. And it is my snake hand. It's a hand doing this with a snake wrapped around it, and then below it says "She's a Rebel." I literally just thought about this at work. I was like, oh, that'd be so cool to have "She's a Rebel" tattooed on my stomach. And then I went back and forth with what I could put with it. I almost did a butterfly for a little bit, but I was like, no, I don't want to do a butterfly. And then I was just like, hand and a snake. Let's just do some relatively traditional tattoo imagery with some cute nails and just slap it on. And I just went for it. I literally, most of my tattoos I think about pretty decently in advance. I literally like thought about this idea and then got it tattooed like 2 weeks later. It was my most like whirlwind tattoo besides maybe my one on my chest, which was a similar story. Stomach, not as bad. Like my actual stomach, where the lettering and where the lower part of the snake is, not as bad. But the ribs, this isn't really on my ribs, but right where my ribs start, horrible, horrible. It hurt so bad, so bad. And then it does go all the way up my sternum. Sternum sucks. This was by far my most painful tattoo to date. I was really lucky in that my tattoo artist put numbing spray, so he did the outline and then sprayed numbing spray, and that helped so much. I honestly don't know if I could have sat as well as I did if it weren't for that numbing spray. It really, really, really came in handy. But yeah, this one sucked. I would get tattooed on my stomach again. I don't know if I would get tattooed on my ribs again. It was just not fun. It was very, very not fun, but 100% worth it. It is so clean. He did so well. I love this tattoo so much. And it has a little bit of a hint to Green Day. I was literally listening to that song and was just like, that'd be cool. I love Green Day. I should get that as just kind of a little nod to Green Day. And then my second newest one is the one on my chest. I got this done on my birthday last month. Not last month, 2 months ago. My birthday is at the end of December. Since, you know, COVID cancels everything, but where I live, tattoo shops are still open. So I decided to schedule myself a tattoo. And this was just another thing that just kind of came to me, and I was listening to Paramore and I knew, and the song Ankle Biters is again another just empowering song. And this year being so rough and being so alone, not having Mason, not being able to go see my family, like it was literally a year of self-growth for me. I went back into therapy, and you know, I just have really been working on myself. And so when I was listening to the song Ankle Biters, I was like, I should get Fall in Love with Yourself tattooed on me, because someday you're gonna be the only one that you got. Yeah, I love this tattoo. I actually thought it was gonna be, I went in thinking it was gonna be a lot like bigger and take up more space, but how he designed it and how he placed it, I just think it fits me so well and is still very delicate and pretty while being a chest tattoo. All right, and then last one for now is the one that is the brand newest. It is still healing. It is very itchy. It's still red. It's still very peely. I got this done last week, and it is the next portion of my sleeve, and then I just have the inner portion to do, and then the sleeve is completed. So obviously this is a continuation of my sleeve themed like my parents' backyard. My parents were always the type of people that had a billion different birdhouses. My parents' backyard is just a mishmash of chaos in the best, cutest way. So we decided to do a big rustic birdhouse with some hummingbirds and then maple leaves and oak leaves. So the maple and oak branches and leaves are actually a nod to my dad. My favorite classic rock band is Rush. That's my dad's favorite classic rock band, and the song The Trees is his favorite song by them. And of course, again, it's one of my favorite songs too because it's his, and I grew up listening to Rush and Van Halen and REO Speedwagon, all of those classic rock bands in the car with my dad, and they were some of the best memories ever. So I just always wanted to have those things with me. So yeah, we decided to do maple and oak leaves to, you know, do a little nod to Rush, a little nod to my dad, and I love it. He did so well. The detail is just beautiful. beautiful, and I can't wait till it's healed and I can continue getting more. The back of the arm right here sucked so bad, and he did that in the last hour, so I sat for 4 hours, and then in the last hour he was just like going at it basically in the back of my armpit. It was horrible, but and that is it. Those are all of my tattoos. That is my tattoo tour. Let me know your experiences with different spots. Where was the most painful tattoo that you've had? Where was the easiest tattoo that you didn't expect to be that easy? Like, my chest was so easy. The only part that sucked was right here, but I literally could have fallen asleep for the rest of it. It was stupid easy. And I was really surprised. I was very nervous, but when he started over here, I was like, what? This is nothing. So let me know your experiences. What tattoos do you want to get? And you know, I'm still gonna get a lot more tattoos, but that's my update for right now. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.